Hey everybody, hope you guys doing all right. Sorry, my throat's a little. There's a little bit more moisture. We had some rain actually earlier today. So that hasn't happened in probably about 3 or 4 months. So anyway, anytime there's more moisture in the air, it makes one's respiratory system just a little bit more difficult to breathe. It's one of the reasons why they tell people who have respiratory issues to go and live in places like Arizona or dry climates, because the dryness is just, it's easier for your lungs to take in the oxygen. So anyways, but continuing on here, I wanted to talk about, I had a interesting experience at work last night. And again, this general manager, Keenan, he's the dude who hired me. He's leaving. He's gonna be leaving on the 3rd. And a bunch of drivers are leaving too because he's leaving. He's that cool of a dude. He's a super laid back manager, but he also works his ass off. And he's got a very good relationship with variety. Like, he loves all different types of music. Like, literally, he listens to screamo, hip hop, like chill, like almost like really sweet, like innocent, benign music. Like, also like really crazy music, like all over the place. His musical preferences are really all over the place. And also just like him, like, we've been working a lot together. He closes every night. I've been closing a lot. So we've gotten the chance to get to know each other. And I was actually invited to go out with him to have some drinks last night, but we ended up not getting out of there till like 2 o'clock in the morning, and it was just gonna be some last call bullshit. And I was like, hey man, I don't really want to drink anymore. I've had a little bit, but I don't like the way alcohol reacts to me right now. So I'm not really looking to do much more of it. And I also, like, he also told me, like, he's had problems with his kidneys. Like, his kidneys were shutting down, I guess, not a while ago, and he had to quit. He quit drinking for like 5 months. But then he's been drinking. He started drinking again, and he's starting to say that he's feeling some of the same symptoms that he did when he had those kidney issues. So he wants to quit. And so upon hearing that and like just feeling things out, me also not wanting to drink, I told him that, like, hey man, I don't really feel like doing it last night. But I did ask if he wanted to go for a hike, because he mentioned how one of the things he likes to do is just go on hikes and shit. So yeah, I asked him if he wanted to, and he said he was down. And there's actually these waterfalls he wants to show me out where he lives, because he lives in Washington. So I told him I'd cruise out there and check him out on one of his days, one of our, if we have a mutual day off, hopefully we will, then I'd love to go over there and fucking go on a hike with him, man. But and as far as like just his personality, like, it's rare for me to find people that I can really connect with, like, like, just as soon as you meeting them, like, you don't even know the fuck they are, but you're just sitting down, like, their energy, it's like, whoa, this is a fucking familiar energy. Like, this is one of the most familiar energies I've felt in a very long time. And I think a lot of it has to do with his relationship with both, like, darkness and love. Like, this dude has got a very generous, pure heart, and he's always like just like telling people how good they're doing, like helping teaching them, like making them laugh, asking how they're doing, like really caring about what's going on in their life. Like, I listen to him. Like, he talks to all the employees. Like, he treats everybody with a lot of love. It's a really beautiful thing. And just like his willingness to sacrifice whatever the fuck needs to get done to get the job done is also very beautiful. It's a very good example of a good leader. Um, so that's been going on lately. And but last night, there was a female that came into the store, and she was an attractive female. And he told me he already had a girlfriend. And since he lives in Washington, I figured his girlfriend probably lives in Washington too, which is, Washington is right over the border, but he's in Longview. It's a small town that's like an hour away. So I figured it was probably not likely that his girlfriend would come all the way down here to Portland to see him while he's working. So, but and then the way these two, the female and him, were talking was like there was some chemistry there, but I didn't think it was his girlfriend. So, and he's a very, he comes across as a very open person, and I've kind of heard him like ask people things, but also say like, hey man, I don't mean to push too hard, but I'm curious. And so I did the same thing concerning this female. I was like, hey man, so is that your girlfriend you were talking to? And he blushed and he was like, nah, it's not. It's a former girlfriend. And, I guess that he was ready to like marry her and do all these type of things. And she's a stripper. But he was cool with that. He was like, yo, I'm totally cool with you stripping. Like, you know, I know you do your thing to make your money, and these guys, whatever, they Google at you, but you come home and you're mine, and I'm cool with that. Like, if that's the life you want to live, that's the job you want to work, that's fine. You know, as long as when you come home and we're together, it's just me and you. So he was cool with it. But apparently, like, I guess she wasn't like cool with him being cool with it. Like, she wanted him to judge her about being a stripper. And he was like, that's just not me. Like, I love you. Like, if that's what you want to do, I'm gonna let you do that, you know? But apparently, like, the female, like, this is where I'm starting to learn more about female psychology and how different it is from male psychology. I mean, we're all different, even if you're male or female, but it was really interesting for me to hear her, for him to talk about how she really wanted, like, a dude to tell her, you know, she's doing the wrong thing, she should be doing other things, like stripping isn't good, and all this and that and this, and you know, instead of just like, you know, being cool with it, which is what he was, like, they really it's telling me that essentially what I got from it is, like, females, they may do and say a lot of things and act in certain ways, but a lot of times they don't even like acting like that. They're just, they need, you know, essentially help, you know, from there's a partner, somebody who has influence, or they care, or has the ability to influence them in some type of way to help them get over and change their ways. And, you know, even though they may go along with something like they like it, you know, it's putting on a mask. Like, deep down inside, they actually aren't very cool with it. But they, like, I guess they get stuck and they don't know how to get themselves out of a situation. And so I think she was the one who ended up, like, moving away or breaking up with him, because essentially he wasn't judging and being hard on her about what she was doing with her life. So they ended up breaking up, and he's now with a new girl. He's been with her for like 2 months, and he was talking about that. He's like, yeah, you know, I'm a good guy. I don't like breaking people's hearts, you know, and like, you know, this girlfriend, I don't think he loves her. Like, because like I said, he was ready to marry the stripper girl that he saw last night. And this girlfriend, I mean, they seem to be getting together rather well, but I don't get the same intense level of love that I got when I saw him talking about the chick that he just saw last night. So, but he's like, yeah, he was like, yeah, man, I'm in kind of a fucked up situation, like, mentally right now. Like, this girl that I loved and wanted to marry, but then she left me because I wasn't, I guess, being hard enough on her being a stripper. Now she's come back to me and professed her love for me, but I'm with this girl that I like, and she's my girlfriend, and I don't want to hurt her. And it's like, so he's in kind of a fucked up romantic situation. I mean, not fucked up. It's just, I mean, it's just a, you know, it's dealing with, you know, different people who have a lot of care for him or care for him. And, you know, he also, I can tell, is, like you said, a good guy. He doesn't want to hurt people's feelings. So, like, there's that. Like, okay, I got these two people who really like me, but I can only be with one, because I'm assuming that's the type of relationship he wants. So, and one of them is going to probably end up getting hurt. You know, their feelings are going to get hurt, which he didn't like either. So, but just, you know, and I mean, he's going to figure it out. I mean, this is part of life. But just from him, like, for me to witness this, because I saw them talking outside, and I was like, yeah, you guys definitely got some chemistry. I even said that to him, and, you know, like I said, he blushed again. But to hear him talk about how, you know, like, the female perspective is just like how they want you to, like, really tell them, like, what's wrong and what's right, and to lead them in that type of a way, and to, like, not be cool with them when they're not doing shit that's really healthy, you know, essentially is kind of what I got from it. But, like, the approach that he was doing was just being unconditionally loving and just being like, you know, I love you for you. If that's what you feel like doing, then go ahead and do it. You know, like, so it's just strange how, like, from his perspective, he was really just being the most unconditionally loving person he could be to this person. But at the end of the day, like, you know, that's not really what she really wanted, or maybe even what she really needed. And because of that, she pushed him away because, she, you know, for whatever reason, but then she still ended up going back to him. So there was still something there all along that she loved and longs for. But there's also still something inside of herself that wanted a man to, you know, essentially tell her, like, hey, you got to stop doing that. That's not right. You're better than this, or whatever. I mean, and I don't know, stripping, because it can get in the way of people finding good relationships and real love in their life. It's just like pornography. I don't think it's the healthiest thing to do. But, like, there's like strip clubs, like, there's the vibe of a strip club. I've never even been to one, but I've watched a lot of movies, and there's been a lot of strip clubs and movies, and, like, the vibe there is not the healthiest vibe. Like, it's just not. Like, it's kind of weird. Like, there's a bunch of horny dudes, essentially, because you're looking at females. So, I mean, you're naked females, you're gonna get fucking horny. At least I would. But you're sitting around with a bunch of other dudes like drinking, and you have to buy alcohol, so then you're consuming the alcohol, and you're watching these females take off their fucking clothes while you're giving them money, but you can't touch them or do anything with them. It's just, for me, I'm always like, why not just go try to go out and find some real pussy? Like, why am I gonna sit here and watch these girls take off their clothes and pay for it? You know, it's just, so anyway, to me it seems really silly. But anywho, I'm getting off topic. What I really wanted to talk about was just like, you know, I realized that like there's a lot I don't know about the female perspective and just relationships, dating, love, like all of that in general. I never was given the birds and the bees talk about my parents. I mean, just it never happened. I remember I actually went to my mom when me and my buddies found a stash of porn, like when we were 12, something. We were out skateboarding behind the school, and like there was just this stash of porno magazines in a fucking bush. And I actually went and showed my mom. I was like, Mom, is it okay if I look at this stuff? And it was just Playboy, so it wasn't nothing crazy or hardcore, but they're like from the 90s Playboys too, so they were a little older. But she actually said it was okay for me to look at this stuff. And I don't think she realized how bad my porn addiction would get into, but like that moment, like being aware, like that's, if I were raising a child, I would let them know, like, I don't think it's good for you to look at porno, even if it's from a magazine or online or whatever it may be. It's going to take away your desire to want to go out and actually interact with real females, and it's also like there's a prize. I mean, not a prize, there's a reward. Like, if you end up being with somebody who you're able to, connect with, and, you guys end up getting naked and fucking together, that's a reward, something to look forward to, something to work towards, something you've earned, something that you now deserve because it's in front of you, and it's, it's a consensual thing amongst you both. But the porno, I mean, all you got to do is pay for it or find it and then look at it, and you're able to see tits. When in actuality, like, to really do things the healthy way and the real organic way of men and women exchanging like that is to essentially court a woman, or to, talk or develop a relationship with a woman until you get to a point where you guys are cool with fucking doing that, and then you get to see some boobies. And you've worked your ass off to be able to see those boobies or whatever it is that, you guys are fucking doing. And so that's the one thing about porn and stripping and all this type of shit that I don't like, is that it does take away from the reward of being with a woman or with a man if you're a female. So, but yeah, I just wanted to share that with you guys. Like, I'm really actually, excited that I've found somebody that's like, of a relatively similar like mine. It's kind of sad that he's leaving, but I'm glad that I was able to set up some type of a, opportunity for us to get to, know each other better and become maybe, friends, someday. And, like I said, and if this project ever gets going in a serious level, like he's a general manager, and he's only 30 years old. So he's 7 years younger than me. He's already a GM. He's very goal orientated, but he's also got health issues. Like, he's just been through a lot. Like, he's another person that's got a lot of love and darkness inside of him. Like, he's got a lot of light and a lot of darkness. Like, I can see it inside of himself. And the music, the things he listens to, like, it all speaks about just this very experience in both of these different intense fields of reality that is rare to come by. A lot of times you either see a person that's, super light and positive, or they're a lot of times they're super dark. And then there's also levels of intensity. And he's also, I could tell, like, his soul and his spirit and where he's chosen to go and talk about and explore, he's really got into it. Like, whether it's love, like, he really puts himself into that which he loves and cares about. And if it's something dark, like being a heavy drinker and stuff like that, and the music he listens to, like, I can see him getting real fucking dark with it. He has also got a very powerful warrior spirit. Like, he's one of the few dudes that I'm like, wow, if we scrapped, I don't know, man. He's a thicker dude. He's not quite my height, but he's got some serious fucking strength to him and resilience. So that goes a long ways. So yeah, I've got the next few days off here, so I hope that I'm able to do a little bit more work on the project, and also just connect more online. And but I just want to share that little bit with you guys. And yeah, all right, hope you guys are doing all right. Love you guys. Take care. All right, bye.